The Golden Eagle is a vintage classic, a 1964 Dodge 330 limited edition that was originally bought by the police department in Old Orchard Beach, Maine, to be used as a patrol vehicle. According to legend, the car took on a sinister character almost immediately, as all 3 officers who drove it during their service ended up dead. Beyond its alleged curse, the car displayed a cunning ability to evade detection. Not a single officer died inside the vehicle. Instead, as noted by Jalopnik, they all perished in murder-suicides at their homes, tragically taking their families with them. After this harrowing history, the car came into the possession of the Allen family. Wendy Allen, its current owner, has chosen to keep it hidden to avoid attracting attention from religious groups. During its time with the Allens, the Eagle was relatively docile. Although it would still open its doors while speeding down the highway, it never harmed any family members. However, it wreaked havoc on anyone else who dared to come near. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, numerous fatalities were associated with the Golden Eagle. Incidents included one man who was decapitated by an 18-wheeler, 2 teens who were struck by cars and then thrown onto the Eagle, victims of lightning strikes, and at least 1 individual who died in another tragic murder-suicide. Altogether, 14 deaths have been linked to the car, with some estimates placing the number as high as 32. Simultaneously, various religious groups targeted the vehicle and occasionally vandalized it in attempts to rid it of its supposed demonic influence. By the end of the 1990s, the car vanished when another religious group dismantled it piece by piece and distributed the parts to different junkyards, believing this was the best way to prevent further fatalities. Determined to reclaim her beloved family car, Wendy set out to find all the disassembled pieces. She takes pride in owning haunted vehicles, decorating them with rhinestones and teddy bears as she travels to shows across the country. Self-identifying as a witch, calling herself Reverend Eelcat, and the one and only sea witch of Old Orchard Beach, she refused to be intimidated by her car's dark reputation. Wendy successfully raised the funds to track down every piece of the Eagle and reassembled it. While she keeps it concealed, she insists that her car is not a killer. Haunted, yes, but not a murderer. The 1910 Graf and Stiff double Phaeton gained a tragic and chilling historical significance when it became linked to the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, who was murdered by Gavrilo Princip in 1914. This pivotal event is widely recognized as the catalyst for the outbreak of the First World War, adding to the aura of misfortune surrounding the vehicle. Its license plate bears the seemingly ominous letters and numbers AI 118, which some have speculated to symbolize November 11, 1918, the date when the armistice was signed, effectively bringing an end to hostilities in the war. This connection has led many to view the car as a harbinger of doom. Over the span of the next 12 years, the Graf and Stiff's notoriety for bad luck was solidified as it was implicated in 6 separate accidents, resulting in 13 fatalities. The dark legacy of this automobile is further underscored by its history of unfortunate owners, including an Austrian general who, after a life of service, ultimately found himself confined to an insane asylum, and a Romanian driver whose fatal crash claimed his life along with that of 5 passengers. Each of these grim anecdotes adds layers to the car's already storied past, reinforcing the belief that it is indeed cursed. James Dean's Porsche 550 Spider. When Hollywood actor James Dean received his new Porsche 550 Spider, his friend Alec Guinness ominously warned him he would die within a week if he drove it. Tragically, this prediction came true, as Dean lost his life in a car accident on a California highway just 7 days later, at the age of 24. The car, which became known as Little Bastard, continued to bring misfortune even after Dean's death. After the crash, renowned car customizer George Barris obtained the Little Bastard and sold its engine and drivetrain to 2 racing drivers, one of whom was killed and the other severely injured shortly thereafter. The vehicle was later displayed to raise awareness about the dangers of road accidents, but it was linked to a series of bizarre incidents, including a fire in the garage where it was housed. While being used as a prop for road safety education at a high school, it fell on a student, resulting in a broken hip. After inflicting harm for 5 years, the notorious car vanished in 1960, and its current location remains unknown, though a few pieces have surfaced since then. John F. Kennedy's Lincoln Continental SS X-100. JFK's Lincoln has become one of the most renowned haunted vehicles in history due to its connection to the president's assassination. Kennedy was traveling in the car with the top down when he was shot and killed during a presidential visit to Dallas, Texas. Interestingly, the car remained in use and was repainted from blue to black for several years after JFK's assassination. Ultimately, it was taken out of service. The Henry Ford Museum later acquired the vehicle, and since it was displayed, visitors have reported a variety of eerie occurrences, including sightings of ghostly apparitions. The Black Volga. This spectral vehicle is not identified with any specific car, but is instead an urban legend originating from Eastern Europe. During the 1960s and 70s, numerous residents of Poland, Russia, Ukraine, and nearby regions reported sightings of a phantom GAZ-21 or GAZ-24 Volga, consistently described as black and occasionally featuring horns instead of side mirrors. Legend has it that the car was operated by the devil himself. According to these tales, many individuals, particularly children, were abducted by the Black Volga, sometimes being drawn inside the car, as if by a vacuum. The model associated with the Black Volga likely has ties to the NKVD, the Soviet secret police known for instilling fear among the Eastern European populace at the time, as they often utilized a Black Volga as an official vehicle. 1968 Volkswagen van. This 1968 Volkswagen van earned its notoriety as a haunted vehicle due to its previous owner, Dr. Jack Kevorkian, a physician known for his public advocacy of assisted suicide. Dr. Kevorkian utilized the van for his work and is believed to have helped approximately 130 terminally ill patients end their lives. A significant number of these tragic events occurred within the van, contributing to its ghostly reputation. Although Dr. Kevorkian passed away in 2011, the VW van remains and has become popular among ghost hunting aficionados. The car famously associated with Bonnie and Clyde, two of the most famous criminals in America, was their final vehicle, a 1934 Ford Model 40 B Deluxe four-door sedan. They stole this tan-colored V8 powered car in May 1934. Bonnie and Clyde gained their pop culture status by robbing banks in the 1930s and ruthlessly killing anyone who stood in the way of their plans. The Ford became known as the Death Car when police caught the couple and killed them by firing over 100 shots at the vehicle. It is now on display at the Prim Valley Resort and Casino in Prim, Nevada, located just outside of Las Vegas, with the bullet holes still clearly visible. A long-standing urban legend among English drivers, specifically Londoners, is the ghost bus of Ladbroke Grove. Ladbroke Grove is an area of West London where, as far back as the 1930s, spooky stories have been circulating about a phantom number 7 bus. According to the legend, the bus suddenly appears late at night in the middle of Cambridge Gardens, a road where the number 7 route isn't supposed to run. The apparition causes drivers to swerve off the road, sometimes with lethal results. In the 1930s, a man crashed his car trying to avoid the bus and died after his vehicle burst into flames. Police assumed he had been driving recklessly until several witnesses reported seeing the ghostly bus. In the early 1970s, Ted Bundy, a crisis hotline volunteer in Seattle and University of Washington student, occasionally got rides home from coworker and Rule. Later, She found it strange that descriptions of a serial killer in the area resembled Bundy's appearance. Though the killer often drove a Volkswagen Beetle and used tricks to lure female victims, Rule doubted Bundy was involved since he didn't own a car. However, when she had a police friend check, she was shocked to discover he did own a tan 1968 Volkswagen Beetle, and he had ripped out the seat to better accommodate his victims' unconscious and prostrate frames. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more of our content. Thank you.